should not be allowed at the border. And also thank Obama for legalizing propaganda.
That rage they have against the orange man. They're like, I don't care. Tax the 80% as long as he's not in there. People are just so okay, though, as long as the guy that they didn't vote for looks bad. Like, I really can't stand y'all sometimes.
Rosa Parks was one of those people that was kind of a big image for like the race wars. Same with Martin Luther King.
It's never been a race issue, okay? It's a patriarchy issue.
Because it was actually never created by white men either. So what does that say? The men are always the problem? But OF and corn are like the worst thing that women can do. I wasn't at the strip club working to feel empowered. I was there for money. If content creation does not work out, I will be looking for another rich man.
Grifter!
I don't want to settle for that weird shit, but if I have to.
So this chick, Flawed Villain, is extremely male-centered from what I just saw. And we could just like say she's probably racist as well. She's a grifter. Like, I've had people, especially black women, say, oh, I love this white lady. Like, oh my God. Like, because I talk about similar things on YouTube. You know, we talk about dating and decentering men and just putting yourself first and looking out for the green flags, the red flags, whatever the case may be. But this is a liar. She's a liar. She's a poser. She's a scam. She's a grifter. I don't care that she voted for Donald Trump. Because everybody like, oh, she's MAGA. I really don't care about that. But the fact that she gets her funky ass on the internet and say, oh, F men and men don't care about you and men this and that. Given Donald Trump's history, why would you vote for him?
Let's talk about the chaos surrounding this white feminist content creator on TikTok right now. He's a creator who has built a brand on the centering men and, just catering to so many women in her content. These have been making viral videos to women to stop prioritizing male opinion and how women should stop centering men in conversations, in dating, in politics, usual feminist rhetoric. She did made all of that. But it's so funny because she's coming out now to say that she voted for Trump, which is very crazy. And this all started when they started dragging her because she was as well seen copying the content of another black woman, literally copying her point. So someone who has always preached about empowering women, not considering male opinion, the centering men, seen voting for the orange man, sounds very unhinged to a lot of people. She's now getting dragged all over the media. So many of her past videos have been causing chaos as well. I want to get straight into the point so you guys can hear what people are saying, then we will come back and talk about it.
But you voted for Trump. Putting a woman in office on a global fucking stage puts this country at risk.
Are you hearing yourself? First of all, darling, you're claiming to be a libertarian feminist, but you're claiming to not be on the left or right. Like, this is so me when I did GCSE politics and I didn't understand anything before I opened my mouth. Someone tagged this girl and let her know that the core aspect of libertarianism is the fact that individuals should be able to maximize their own freedoms and individual powers alongside having a minimal governmental power dominating the country. So please explain to me how voting for Donald Trump, the man who has centralized power the most around himself in government, and the man that's actively attacking individual freedoms within his own country right now, the man that's literally enforcing strong, overpowering governmental control right now, please tell me how that fits into the category of libertarianism at all. Like, respectfully, you do not know what you're talking about. On top of that, you're calling yourself a feminist. Let me even talk about that. You saying that Kamala Harris, people wouldn't respect America if Kamala Harris became the president? Hello, a member of the international community here. The world doesn't respect your country right now. Newsflash. Please, Lord, tell me, do Americans honestly think that the world ever respected Trump, even in his first term? Please! Like, are you hearing yourself? You're calling yourself a feminist, but in the same breath, you're saying that the world would not respect Kamala because she's a woman. Even if that was to be the case, hello? Should we not change the narrative? Because by this logic, a woman should never be in power. By this logic, America will never see a female president. By your metric, whoever the hell you are. By the way, guys, that's not the case. Every single nation that has a woman leader right now running the country, they all have their own misogynistic tendencies that they had to fix. It's just something that has to be done. And if you're a libertarian feminist, then please let me know how voting for a man that allowed for a woman to literally become a human incubator to only then extract the baby from the rotting corpse, please tell me how that's a win for women, because somebody tell me that Kamala wouldn't have let that happen.
So Flawed Villain just admitted on live that she voted for Trump in the 2024 elections. And I mean, I'm not really surprised, but what I am interested in is this pink pill to alt-right pipeline that seems to be getting very popular. It's just really interesting that there's this trend of people who claim to be anti-patriarchal using patriarchal strategies and tactics against other women. And in Flawed Villain's case, she used her vote as a way to further the patriarchy, because we all see what the Trump administration is doing, and they are hurting women. So if you have any good literature on this pink pill to alt-right pipeline, please let me know. I would love to dig deeper into it, read more, and learn more.
Why was y'all looking for this woman to lead you? Some of y'all might not know who this woman is, so I will help you out. This is Gloria Steinman, aka the leader or the founder of the feminist movement. Y'all know this iconic photo. Why was y'all looking for this woman to lead you? Now, whoever did it, whoever set that girl up, y'all set that girl up and y'all put a battery in her fucking back. Because yesterday I'm sitting there scrolling after work and I came across a live with Princella and Flawed Villain. And Princella was running circles around this girl. And I think she met her objective, and her objective was meant that this little girl didn't know shit about shit and what the fuck she was talking about. But specifically, I'm talking to black women right now, but if you white women want to tune in for the message, you can stay. So I guess people are in an uproar because we found out that she voted for Trump, and her reason was because she felt that a woman couldn't lead the country. She already lost with that talking point right there. If you ask me, your reason for not voting for Kamala, which you can vote however you want to vote, is fine. But your reason for why contradicts everything that you talk about out your face. She was sitting there not really making sense, not very clear on her talking points. Of course, Princella overpowered the live. But all in all, this little girl don't know what she's talking about. It's giving a grift. She's a grifter who was taking other people's content, and specifically black women, to create her content. Y'all act like the suffrage movement didn't exist. Y'all act like the suffrage movement wasn't a thing. She went from giving her praises to Princella and to Cecilia, Regina, to now saying how they're jealous of her. They're jealous of her. And she just wants to bring the left and the right together. Baby, what's not clicking to you? Now let the white girls have their little revolutionary, okay? They need something, and as long as she's going to inspire them to change, which I don't think is going to happen, let them have their revolutionary, all right? She literally voted against her own interests. She will probably continue to go against her own interests. And she is never going to save anybody but herself, especially a black woman. As a black woman, I would think that the last person that y'all needed to hear anything about men from is a white woman. These are the same group of women that will let the whole collective down every single time chasing behind Chad. A white woman can't tell me shit about men.
One thing about this old fat bitch, when I misspeak, misquote, or I say something completely incorrect, I own it. And I was completely wrong about the Flawed Villain. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to apologize. Bitch, are you okay? Did you take your motherfucking meds this morning? Because you insulted an entire group of people, and that is black people, when you decided to say that Rosa Parks and MLK were the ops, the civil rights movement was a race war, and black women were gremlins, and black men are the issue. Keep your motherfucking mouth off of us. You don't know us like that. You don't know us like that. You decided to go in the booth in 2024 and vote for Trump, and yet you want to come out and pretend like you're such a feminist. I think not, because feminism and Trump can't coexist. They're not in the same fucking hemisphere. Therefore, you are a fraud. And I'm calling you out as a goddamn fraud. I was hoodwinked, bamboozled, duped, hoodwinked, and fucking bamboozled because you didn't show your hand. We didn't realize what a fucking racist you were. But I know now. And you are now. I don't want to see you on my timeline. Therefore, you are blocked. Run along and toodle fucking loo.
Really don't know if people have been on the decentering men side of TikTok and watching the Flawed Villain controversy. It was a lot. I just saw this and I just caught up with it. So I know a lot of people did not vote for Kamala, and I know that there's many reasons why you wouldn't. And I'm not talking about that per se. I'll just talk about why Flawed Villain didn't vote for Kamala and my thoughts on that. She said that a woman would not be respected to rule this country. Facts, because nobody voted for her. I agree with that. And she said that she would not be a good fit for the geopolitical conditions right now because people will not respect her. And here's the thing. I think that if you are making decentering men content, literally voting for Trump is so unhinged. You could have voted for another woman like Claudia. You could have fucking done anything. Like, to vote for Trump makes no sense. The only reason why you did that was so that she would not win. And it's because you don't think that she will be respected. You think the world will fall apart once a woman takes that seat. But the truth is, we allow incompetent men to take positions of power all the time and risk so much. Letting Donald Trump run this country was a risk as well. It was a huge, massive risk, and it still is a huge risk. It is bearing so many consequences to so many people. So I don't understand the argument that to risk a woman being in power would be it would be too much. We risked a clown in office. There's a double standard when it comes to women. If we want to put ourselves in positions of power, why do we have to be so considerate of every single fucking detail? Whereas men do not have to be. They don't. They will just vote in the man they want. It's never happened in history to have a female president. It's not crazy if your content is about decentering men that you would be supportive of that, especially because no one voted for Trump was even fucking concerned about any of the consequences that were going to happen because he's in power.
The fact that Flawed Villain came out as voting for Trump is actually not surprising at all when you consider the crossover between her brand of decentering men content and Trump supporters. What they have in common is extremism, rage as a tactic, and hatred without discernment. Because the decentering men movement isn't the hate and cut men out completely movement. Decentering really just means not making men and romantic partnership the main focus of your life. It's Flawed Villain that adds in the hateful misandry, the rage bait, and the bioessentialism, which basically just says that men are evil because they're men. This type of thinking is the basis for racism, by the way. And look, I'm not here to argue against the decenter men movement or deny that a lot of men are really problematic in a lot of ways. But this blanket, undiscerning hatred toward an entire demographic of people sounds a lot like an alt-right pipeline talking point to me. So if she's making this type of content, is it really such a leap to think that there's probably some racism and misogyny mixed in there as well? Because you gotta have that to support Trump in 2024. I've seen a lot of people say that they felt fooled by Flawed Villain, and I think this is a learning to be very wary of people who create content specifically to incite anger, sow division, and make sweeping, undiscerning generalizations about entire demographics of people.
Reason as to why she didn't vote for Kamala Harris during the election is still very wild to me. I'm still trying to understand that reason coming from someone who has constantly make videos on the centering men, who have constantly make videos about the male dominance, who has constantly tell women to decenter men in their life, dating, relationship, political, name it. She has said all of that, and then she is boldly coming online stating that voting for a woman to fill the high position is putting everyone in the country at risk. So what exactly as all the talk of, sentiment, so why is it not matching up? Why is 2 plus 2 on this white woman feminist side not 4? This is the question the people are having. Why are you just contradicting yourself up and down? Especially for the fact that she's being dragged right now because in a Black woman's content, he was talking to women, telling women to reject male dominance while still going ahead to vote for the most patriarchal man to ever live. Like, it is not making sense at all. The same man who has bragged about grabbing women, the same man who has rolled back healthcare for women, is the same one that this lady voted for after years of talking about how rejecting male dominance. this is who this lady voted for. How can you say you're a feminist, but then go ahead and vote against women's rights? How can you say that men shouldn't be centered, but then turn around and say that you will prefer a man in that position because a woman holding that position puts so many people in the country, or everyone in the country, at risk? That is not dissenting men at all. That is reinforcing systems that she claims to fight against. Maybe she was just doing it just for, doing it. Maybe she was just doing it just because she felt like it was going to sell. Because yes, there were influx of so many people talking about dissenting men. Basically, it is a performance feminism. So there's so many dangers related to performance feminism. I saw somebody talking about how you guys need to remember that she is a white woman first. And now it is making sense. It is hard enough. She was even seen in the comment section calling the woman she has been stealing her content a coon, a monkey. I feel like white feminism have always had this problem. Love the aesthetics of empowerment, but will refuse to take accountability. It is so easy to say support women, but refuse to unpack how race, class, and privilege plays into all of this. This is just another example in a long line of the so-called feminists who are only radical when it is convenient, conservative when it is time to actually risk something. So now she is being exposed and being dragged, not because of what she said, but because she confirms what so many people already know about white feminist women. And it seems to so many people that she was not really about liberation. She was just more on the branding side of everything, just the aesthetics of all of this. I saw a lady said that she used to know her when she had 2,000, followers, that it used to be mutual, or for her to just see that she now has over 100,000 followers, and then she had to go check some of the things that has brought her to that level, and immediately she unfollowed her. Feminism without intersectionality is not feminism at all. This lady was literally just performing, feminism and the idea and rhetoric to people. She doesn't really stand by what she said, because there is no way that you are going to say, oh, reject male dominance, center men, blah, 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 and still go ahead and vote for someone who is against women. It does not make sense. Like, no part of it makes sense. Then she went ahead to copy the talking point of another Black woman, trying to bring her down without giving her credit whatsoever. And she still claims that she's not doing it after so many people have called her out. So if your feminism does not include Black women, does not credit Black women that you are stealing from, and you do not stand by what you say when you talk about rejecting male opinion and still having the rhetoric that women do not deserve to hold a certain position, and that is just another patriarchy in disguise. That is not feminism whatsoever. That 2 + 2 will never be 4. Let me hear what you guys think about this woman and what you think about what people have been saying about her video, and I am going to see you guys in the next one.